Senator Murray, thanks for joining us. The fact that outdated targeting data may have led to the death of more than 100 Iranians, teachers, children. Your reaction to that?
I'm just sickened by this. To go into this war unprepared, to use outdated data, and to have this horrific thing happen where children were killed in a school sends a horrible message to those that are in a war with us and to our own constituents about what America's values are. This is unacceptable. The administration needs to be held accountable, and to the very top, to the president, need to be clear and outspoken about apologizing and making sure that everyone goes back and makes sure that our targeting data is updated. This is what happens when you go into a war without preparing our country, without preparing our military, without a clear motive, with changing ideas every day about why we are there or how long we are going to stay there or what it's going to cost, what the end game is. That's when mistakes happen, and here we are. That's why this war needs to end.
What would accountability in this case look like?
Well, accountability is not the president blaming anybody else. It is not the Secretary of Defense blaming some person working in an office looking at data. It is standing up and being the men they want them to be seen as and apologizing for this tragic incident and promising this country that it will not happen again and doing the work to make sure it does not happen again.
Senator, some of your fellow Democrats are calling for the administration to hold public hearings on the war, not just classified briefings. But the Pentagon and the president have held public news conferences since the war began. What more do you think Americans could get from public hearings?
Well, look, I go back in my own history here when we went to a war in Iraq that President Bush asked us to go to. We had numerous briefings that were secure. We had hearings that were public. It was a very clear debate, and the public, the American public, understood what their contribution was going to have to be, what it meant, what they were talking about, and had an opportunity to judge for themselves. None of that has happened. You do not go to war by having a press conference. You go to war with your allies and with the American people themselves behind you. That did not happen. We are $1 late here, but that doesn't mean we don't do our job. And that is public hearings so the American people understand what is going on. Look what's happening today in the Strait of Hormuz, where oil ships are being stopped and our gas prices are going up 50 cents or more in a few days at a time. Americans will buy into that when our country is in a war they understand or share the goal of, but they're not going to buy into it when they do not understand this. Again, that's why we have public hearings. But the economic cost of this is being borne by the American public without any buy-in, and that is just wrong. This war needs to end.
We keep trying to ask the administration, why now? Was there an imminent threat? And what is the ultimate objective of this war? In a new interview with Axios, President Trump is explaining the reasoning behind this war with Iran, saying this, quote, "They were after the rest of the Middle East. They are paying for 47 years of death and destruction they caused. This is payback. They will not get off that easy." Is that good reason to go to war?
That's a threat, but it is not a good reason to go to war. Again, when you take your country, when you take our men and women, when you take our resources into a conflict like this, you go in because there is an imminent threat. And that's when you don't tell people ahead of time. There was no imminent threat. And the goal has changed on a daily basis. The original words of Marco Rubio were to us in a skiff, that this was because Israel went in and we had to go or we would be a target. That changed immediately within hours. We were told there was an imminent threat. That is not correct. There was not an imminent threat. We are told now it's perhaps about regime change. Or I heard your previous guest on this show talking about, well, we have to keep going until the Iranian people feel that they are able to go out in the streets without being murdered. That is not acceptable reason for using our men and women in the military, our personal resources, and our economy to go into a war like this with no end, endless wars in sight. We have been here there before. It never works out. And we are here now. And again, while I will repeat for the third time, this war needs to end.
And you say the American people are now paying the price. Here's what Republican Roger Marshall said about the rising prices at the pump in light of Trump's war on Iran.
I'm asking you about gas prices that Americans are paying that are extremely high and having wild swings, in part because of the war with Iran that the president started.
Right. So again, freedom is not free. Americans are going to have to make some sacrifices, but we're operating from a point of strength.
Senator, what say you to that argument?
The first thing I'd say is for how long and for how high. And again, if this was our mission, then the American people needed to be bought in. When I hear, someone telling me I can't afford to pay 25, 50 cents more a gallon, I've got to get my child to daycare and off to work. And if I do that, I can't stop and buy groceries. When I get home, I will be out of money. Maybe that person would have been with us if they were bought into this war because of a reason this administration defined. They did not. Here we are, and we've put our economy in danger, we have put our troops in danger, and as we just talked about, 170 plus people killed at a school. This is so wrong to me.
Senator Patty Murray, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.